Hey guys, this is Mel, and I am back to talk about Arrow, more specifically the Season 7 spoilers that were revealed at the San Diego Comic-Con this year. The panel happened on July 21st, 2018, and I am recording on August 7th. Took a while until I was able to actually go find the panel fully and watch it, so I'm here just to talk about the spoilers only revealed at that panel. With that said, major spoiler alert, so be aware of that. But I'll try to do this in 15 minutes. I'll also try to talk about a little bit of the sneak peek teaser trailer that they did release at the panel as well. Let's get started with that 15-minute clock starting. First off, apparently there was news of the fact that the time of when Arrow is going to return at had changed. Originally, it was meant to air Mondays at 9 p.m. Instead, that has now been switched to 8 p.m. So now it's going to be Monday nights. It's going to have Arrow first, and then it's going to be Legends of Tomorrow instead of the other way around. I don't know why they decided to do the switch, but they decided anyways. But moving on to sneak peek teaser trailer. I didn't really go fully into it because, I only watched it once, it's been a while. But a good portion of the teaser is new footage, so it's either going to be pretty much anything new is from either the premiere episode or 702. I don't know how far into filming they've gotten by the time the panel happened. So there's that, but it definitely features a lot of stuff of Oliver's time in prison. That's what sticks out mostly for me. One specifically, he gets into a lot of fights, one of them notably being while he's in the shower. And I gotta say, he seems to be kicking butt while not really anything truly showing his skill. It's kind of like him being back on the island in a sense, when he had nothing going for him essentially. So there's that. We do see someone else as the Green Arrow, donning the hood. It's assumed with the way that they cut it that it's someone that Team Arrow is not aware of taking on that mantle. They're trying to figure out who it is from the way that the teaser was cut together. So there's that. I will leave a link for the sneak peek down below. They did show the return of Ricardo Diaz. I do remember him from the way it looked like he was hunting down Felicity and William in a wooded area. So there's that. It also did state that it's been 5 months since the season finale events. So another good thing about Arrow is that at least timeline-wise, we know how much time it's been. Usually, however long a hiatus is, or between seasons, it's usually how long it is until the characters are brought back into focus. So anyways, moving on to the panel itself. So I'm getting this full panel source from YouTuber Daniel Alvarez. So thankfully, we have that. It took a while, but thankfully they posted it, so I'm super appreciative of that. Attendees of the panel itself, though, were new showrunner Beth Schwartz. She's been a part of the show since season 1. Apparently, she started off as a writing assistant before she eventually got promoted up to showrunner this season. So there's that. Also from the cast, we have Stephen Amell, Oliver, Div Ramsey, Diggle, Emily Bett Records, Felicity. We have Colton Haynes returning as Roy Harper. He's the new series regular as well. Echo Callum returning for Curtis. Rick Gonzalez for Renee, and Juliana Harkarvi for Dina. Someone who wasn't part of the cast, though, was Katie Cassidy, though she is still a series regular. So there's that. So also what I'm about to talk about was only stated from the trailer. From the panel itself, as I said. So they did talk about the fact that this season's theme is going to be all about redemption. Apparently, we're going to see Oliver in prison, and he's with a lot of guys that he put in prison as the Arrow, as the Hood, as the Green Arrow as well. Though I don't think anybody realizes that he was all 3 vigilante aliases. So there's that. We are going to see William and Felicity dealing without Oliver in their lives. It looks like Felicity's going to be tired of watching her back alone. She's going to take action in some way. They did name drop a few familiar criminals returning, that being Bronze Tiger, Stardust, and Brickwell. So there's that. We do see Team Arrow dealing without Oliver. don't know if it's actually still Team Arrow or if we're still split in the sense of new recruits versus the disbandment of the original Team Arrow. So we do see Renee trying to deal with Oliver's directive to him before his arrest, which would be Renee trying to figure out if you should be living life with or without his wild dog mask. We do see Diggle still with Argus. We do see Curtis trying to save the city in a different way, trying to find his journey through that. And it also looks like Dina returns as a cop, and it looks like she might be straddling between both sides of the law to save the city. Though she does state specifically in the trailer that it's been 5 months since any vigilantes have shown. They also talked about the return of Roy Harper. They stated that he was not the same person as he left. It's a different version of the character. I'll touch back on that later in my predictions, so there's that. We did get confirmation that Ricardo Diaz is returning. We also will get the official introduction of the Longbow Hunters. They were mentioned in the Season 6 finale, but we're actually get to see them, and they are apparently, or at least 3 of them, are going to be working with Ricardo Diaz. The 3 being named Red Dark, Kodiak, and the Silencer. So there's that. Also, they talked a bit about Batwoman, saying that she is connected to the crossover event happening December of 2018. Though in regards to writing, the crossover hasn't come up script-wise yet. So there's that. They also stated that crossover wasn't going to be the 8th episode for each of the series. It's going to be the 9th instead, with the 8th one acting as the mid-season finale, if I remember that correctly. So there's that. But also, this is something that was not part of the panel, as today is August 7th. They did announce today that they finally cast Batwoman, and it is going to be played by Ruby Rose. So that's going to be awesome to see her take on that role. But moving forward from Batwoman, we are going to see more of Oliver and the fact that he's dealing with life without his secret identity. Stephen Amell pointed out specifically that in 701, there's nothing heroic about Oliver in the episode, and it's something he's hoping pisses Oliver fans off. So that'll be interesting to see. And then we did get a bunch of fan questions, but specifically pertaining to season 7. People asked if the Felicity and Diggle friendship becomes closer due to Oliver's absence. Kind of complicated answer. They said that they're trying to find Ricardo Diaz in their own way, yet they're together in a sense. So I don't know how they could be both separate ways, yet doing things together. So I guess doing it in their own separate way, but together in their common goal, I guess. I don't know. They were even confused themselves about how they were dealing with it. Also, one young fan asked if we will see Speedy returning, aka Thea. They stated that currently there are no plans for Thea's return, but it is always a possibility, thankfully, since she was not killed off like Lance was. Also, there were questions about William and if he would become the next Archer on Team Arrow due to the traumas he's faced over the last few years. They did comment on the fact that even though William is still a little young to become part of Team Arrow, he does deal with a lot of things. He has his own story arc, which Stephen Amell thought was most interesting, but we do see William dealing with things with Oliver in prison now and people knowing that his father is the Green Arrow. So there's that. They also talked a bit about the multiverse. One fan had asked if there was a possibility we'll see Malcolm Merlyn again. Beth Schwartz said that they never know who could come back because of the multiverse. So they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes. So it's kind of like in the gray area there. Talia al Ghul was brought up, but they gave no answer to that. So probably something's going to happen with her. And then one fan had asked if there was going to be a child from an Olicity child, an Oliver Felicity child, and Beth Schwartz flat out said no, which I agree with because the situation is just a little too hectic for them to be thinking about that. So there is that. But moving on to predictions, what do I think about all this that's going to be happening with season 7? I went a little bit far for that, though. But season 7, more specifically in regards to... Actually, I'm a little surprised that they didn't bring up anything about Laurel Lance and specifically how she's going to be dealing with this season, especially with the Quentin Lance now dead, how she's going to come out of that, essentially. But anyways, I'm surprised they didn't even touch about it, even though Katie Cassidy wasn't there. But in regards to Roy Harper, I'm very curious how they're going to bring him back, because he left with Thea and Nyssa to go find this, it was the other Lazarus pits, I believe, that Malcolm Merlyn had left the map towards, I believe. But he left with them, and the way that he left implied that he wasn't going to leave Thea's side. So the fact that he's returning, and he's a series regular, and yet he's returning without Thea, begs the question as to, in just what reason would he leave Thea? And how much different are we going to get of him? Because they said he's not going to be the same person as he left, it has me wondering if we're going to see not the Roy Harper that left with Thea, but maybe it's a multiverse of Roy Harper. Maybe it's a doppelganger that we're going to get of him or something. Because that could explain why it's a different version of him, or why he's coming back without Thea, and how he could be not of the Roy Harper we know and love. But then it begs questions like, why would a doppelganger of Roy Harper be on Earth 1? And how would he get mixed up with our characters from Arrow? So either they have to have a really good explanation as to why Roy would leave Thea on her mission with Nyssa, or it's a doppelganger of Roy Harper. That's my prediction between those two there. So there is that. For the crossover event, specifically with Batwoman, they did not verify whether or not Batwoman is going to be set on Earth 1 or on Earth 38, which is the Supergirl Earth. And because apparently, Batwoman is specifically more towards Gotham City, and Arrow has stated specifically that it's aware of Gotham City and Bruce Wayne and all that, right? But also, it's the kind of the same thing happened over on Earth 38 with Supergirl. So it's going to be interesting to see just which Earth she's going to be set up with, because they are apparently developing a separate series for her. So there's going to be 5 shows in the Arrowverse. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work. We're definitely maybe see a bit of plugs, maybe. Or I'm hoping, this is what I hope for. You know how with On the Flash, how the second half of the season, you kind of saw Nora Allen having those end credit scenes here and there until it was revealed in the finale that she was Nora Allen from the future. Spoiler alert. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something similar to that when it comes to Batwoman. And if it's from Arrow, maybe like the end credit scene might be something that would tie into Batwoman's coming to Star City or something, at least to we won't see her face, but maybe it'll like conceal her identity. We see like the costume or something. I don't know. It's kind of like to build up to her official introduction in the crossover episode. And I think Zoom kind of did that too on The Flash, where it kind of did that whole thing. I think the last time I remember it happening on Arrow was with Brother Blood in season 2. You always got these little end credit scenes that had to deal with the villain, but you don't know exactly what's happening and such. So I'm hoping we get something like that with Batwoman until her ultimate introduction around Christmas time. So there is that. But I think that's pretty much all the predictions I can have. Otherwise, it's going to be interesting to see Oliver take in prison, because it's going to be very different to Barry's take, because nobody knew in prison that he was the Flash, yet everybody in prison knows Oliver is the Green Arrow. Still wondering why no one has put together the fact that he was also the Arrow and he was also the Hood as well. I mean, why would they think it's 3 different people when it's pretty much the 3 same skill sets, roughly, right? Okay, so there is that. I think that's pretty much all I have to say for the episode. I still have to watch the panel for Legends and for Supergirl. I have watched the Flash one, so I'm going to record that right after this. But so check back on my channel if you are interested in spoilers specifically from that. But otherwise, guys, let me know about your own thoughts, theories, and opinions about what's to come in Season 7. Let me know in the comments down below. Love to hear all about that. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I reblog, promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all that good stuff, all found in one place, so go check that out. I am behind. I really got to take a good 2 days just to binge upload everything. So be on the lookout for that. Also, WordPress link is down below. It attaches everything I post online through that link. It's more organized, but it's still a work in progress, so please keep that in mind. But otherwise, that is pretty much it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you come back. I believe it's October, was it the 14th? Anyways, mid-October, there's the timer for I'll put the actual date and time up on screen for the season premiere. In that video, I'll let you know what my plans are for this season in regards to my videos. But until then, guys, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. Bye for now.